The history of Musk's relationship with former President Trump, maybe it doesn't matter now. He's endorsed Trump publicly through the platform X.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Elon Musk in 2016 did kind of start to drift towards Trump. I mean, he was initially on a couple of these executive councils and then broke with the former president over the Paris Climate Accord. But what we've seen over the last 5 or so years is a thawing of those relations, even as they've insulted each other, often publicly. There has been a cooling and definitely an ideological convergence when you look at sort of what Elon Musk is saying on his, X page and what the former president is saying on the campaign trail. There are a lot of commonalities. And on top of that, of course, Elon Musk has what I'd say is a pretty bad relationship with the Biden administration, right? You have multiple federal agencies investigating various aspects of his business. Elon Musk has had all sorts of extremely negative things to say about the current president. So you can see a lot of reasons why they would be able to find common ground. And of course, until recently, former President Trump's finances have started to look a lot better, but until recently, he really needed money. So they both kind of need each other, and I think that's what we're seeing.
When you go to the Elon Musk needing each other and needing Trump, or indeed anyone who's in the White House, remind us of the government contracts that Elon Musk basically sits atop of.
Yeah, so Elon Musk is, of course, he is known as an innovator, but he's also been a very successful government contractor. Many of his businesses, much of his business depends on relationships with the government, either in terms of direct contracts with SpaceX, or Tesla, of course, depends on these tax credits and has for the entirety of its existence. So you can sort of see why he has an interest. And of course, he's got a lot more planned, right? SpaceX is hoping to go to Mars, wants to be involved with that. And if you look at the GOP platform, which we're going to see at the convention, it does bring up commercial space, Mars. It brings up AI, the fears of sort of the wokeness in AI, or it implies that, which is another pet Elon Musk issue. On the other hand, former President Trump has said very negative things about the EV industry. So there is potential tension there as well.
Max, I wrote in my Hyperdrive newsletter last week about the idea of what happens to public funding or IRA funds in the event of either White House. And no one I've spoken to would say if Trump wins the presidency, that would just go away. But I just wanted to remind our audience of the New York Times reporting from earlier this year that Trump met with oil executives and basically said, if you help fund my campaign, I will be, let's say, less supportive of EVs. So then we bring in Musk. It doesn't really add up. Trump's sort of historic attitude towards electric vehicles and Musk and Tesla as the market incumbent, the company that paved the way for electrification.
Yeah, it's hard to know how to parse that. And of course, what candidates say on the campaign trail isn't necessarily what ends up happening. From the sort of Musk point of view, 2 points. One is that I think Trump making those comments and then those comments leaking could be read as a sort of blinking red, orange light for somebody like Elon Musk to donate. It will be interesting to see if President Trump, former President Trump, softens his, attitude to the EV industry. The second thing is that Tesla is the market leader. It doesn't necessarily hurt the company if a hypothetical second Trump presidency, kind of cracks down on the EV industry or gets rid of a lot of subsidies. It might even just sort of lock in Tesla's position. Now, that's not something you want to hear if your interest is in growing the EV industry in a big way, but it's not clear that that's even Musk's goal at this point.
Max Chafkin's written so much, Caro, about the history of Musk and politics. We just showed that graphic of some of the other names over the weekend that publicly officially endorsed President Trump. And for me, this is a big story, Caro. I find it so interesting.
Notable that people are now willingly taking to social platforms, many of them, Bill Hackman, a prevalent user of Elon Musk's X as well, to make these sorts of endorsements and statements. It has to be reflected, and of course, many CEOs within technology were coming out and condemning the violence that we saw this weekend as well, and using social platforms with which to do that. But Max, just a last take on ultimately whether we see more money weighing in here and any clarity on the extent that we hear of Elon Musk support.
You know, Silicon Valley entrepreneurs and CEOs and investors, they want to back winners. So I don't think it's totally surprising. You know, even before this assassination attempt, Trump had a very good couple of weeks. So I don't think it's surprising that we're seeing the corporate money flow in, because the way these guys think, right, is they want a voice in whichever they judge to be the likely winner. So I think that's part of what's going on, and it would not surprise me if we see more money from Silicon Valley. And in fact, we could see Elon Musk take a potentially active role here, either just on his X platform or with further donations. We'll see, but nothing would surprise me at this point as far as Musk and Trump coming closer together.